Hey guys, welcome back. It is time to talk about the Illustrator, PSA, Liquid Marketplace, whatever you want to call this. I've had some people ask me why I haven't been covering it, and I have already. There's a lot of videos on the channel, but maybe some people missed that one, so we'll touch on it again. I try to almost always avoid giving financial advice of any kind. I think it's ridiculous, the predictive future stuff. But I think in this case, it's I'd like to share my opinion on why I will never touch fractional shares. It's, in my opinion, just a terrible idea. So yeah, I've covered this in previous videos. I'll put a link to those down below. I touched on it again briefly in the booze news with the Illustrator here. And I want to make it very clear that myself personally, I think fractional shares of collectibles are a bad idea. Similar to all the shitcoin and NFT garbage that's been pumped out. In my opinion, there's a very good chance you're going to lose your money. So the post here, it surprises me a little bit that PSA is putting their neck on the line. But at the same time, we've seen this with grading companies before. They want to jump on the hype, whatever is, popular and trending, regardless of the risk involved. We saw this with CGC grading the fake cards. We saw it with PSA before. It's not a new thing. The thing is, if Liquid Marketplace goes to shit, which I think it will, are people at that point going to hold PSA accountable for it? I know I will, but yeah, people are just gonna kind of forget that. I think if it goes to shit, is everyone pumping going to pretend that they didn't see it coming? I think that's probably the case. That's kind of the trend that we've seen in the other stuff that just goes to zero. Oopsie doopsie, we didn't see it coming, not our fault. Move on to the next thing. So whether it's Otis that Fahim was promoting or Liquid Marketplace, there are clear warning signs everywhere. We got prices that are made up. We had Otis listing things for prices they've never sold for. We looked at the Blastoise example in specifically. I'll put a link to that, as well as all the other videos where I've talked about fractional shares down below, if you guys need to check those out if you haven't seen them already. So here and now we have Liquid with a price on the Illustrator that was based on trades. It's very similar to the sports hype dogs that are making videos. They forget to tell you that the prices that they're clickbaiting are, actually trade value, or made up trade value, or based on offers that are probably not necessarily real. So here we have an example. They didn't list it for the price, but we had the offer by Ken Golden on Logan's last break stream, which seemed very not genuine. But at least they didn't list it for that much. The 7 or whatever he offered or pretended to offer. So, you just got to think for a second, how does this make you money when the prices aren't actually what they are marked as to begin with? How's that going to go up? How does that make any sense? You're trying to create value from something that the value isn't there to begin with. So, not to mention the fact that you get to pay all sorts of fun fees to top it all off. There's all sorts of conditions that aren't normally in place when it comes to these items, collectibles in general, where if you owned it yourself, you could sell it, you could do whatever you wanted with it. You got all sorts of restrictions here. I guess the selling fact, or the selling feature, main selling feature being the fact that you'll never own this card. But the thing is, I think it's better to just accept the fact that you can't own everything. You still don't own it. You still don't own a piece of it. You own a token. So I think like the more I look at this, the worse it gets. It just, we've seen how inconsistent rules and wording between the terms of service and statements made by Liquid are, whether it be like collector, referring to a collector, or token holder. Are they a collector? Are they a token holder? Are they a shareholder? There's so many like disconnects and little areas that are just bad signs that you have to take a look at. You just got to take a step back, look at this, look at other examples of things that have a similar setup, a similar lack of regulation. I don't know, man. It's bad. It's just bad. I think it's bad for everyone. I think it can potentially trap a lot of newbies. People can lose a lot of money. I mean, people can lose a lot of money regardless, making bad decisions, but maybe this is one of those veiled bad decisions that can be avoided. So a lot of these concerns that I'm mentioning, that I've mentioned before, are only reinforced with the conversations and posts between Opossum Bud and the CEO of Liquid. I suggest you check that out if you haven't already. There's, like I said, there's a huge lack of regulation, and you have to take into consideration that you're buying tokens, not actual shares. It doesn't matter how it's worded, whether it's the Otis method or the Liquid method. You're not actually owning part of the card. They'll say, yeah, but it's got to be on the blockchain, so it's official. It's the same NFT pump and dump. Like, I mean, this is like, how is this? I mean, it is a little bit different, but how is it that much, that much of a change from what we're seeing, where everyone has been or is losing their asses on NFT or the crypto, modern day rug pull, pump and dump, Ponzi schemes, etc. I see this, just fractional shares of collectibles is just like the next iteration of that. It's, in my opinion, again, that's pretty much what it is. It's sad to see, and I mean, hopefully I'm wrong. Again, I'm not exactly a financial advisor. I just don't like the look of any of this stuff. So, yeah, people seem to be overlooking it, whether intentional or not. But Logan putting anything on Liquid Marketplace is a pretty big conflict of interest when you take into consideration the changes, or the fact that he's listed as a co-founder, paired with the Liquid loosey goosey rules that we seem to be seeing more loose and more goose every day. So there's so much that is left up to Liquid's discretion, even in their own terms and service. Like, if you read through it, you see many instances where they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll discuss and we'll figure it out and we'll make a decision." It seems like they can just make up whatever rules they want, and we saw, like, with the restrictions on how much you can retain, where apparently Logan has special permission with this item. I don't know what the qualifications are. It's not in the terms of service that Logan has special permission to retain 49% of the Illustrator, which is weird because you can also, the terms say that you can't take items out of the vault no matter what, unless you own 100%. But I guess recently they decided that Logan can take the Illustrator out as long as 80% of the ownership votes yes. Also, it's just a lack of, even just the statements made by the CEO don't line up with the terms and conditions, because I feel like the terms and conditions aren't even real terms and conditions. So we had the bio details stated that it was at the discretion of Liquid Marketplace. After 80% ownership, which is also a huge issue because, as I mentioned before, your 80% ownership for a buyout, which at that point requires Liquid to decide that you can buy it out, I guess, is probably not going to happen if Logan owns 49% and just doesn't decide to sell that 49%. So, again, if you want to watch the other videos, you can, but I figured I'd make a dedicated recent video on this, so that everyone can didn't miss out on that. So we have here we have like an animated graphic kind of thing here, which is kind of wild because I think this is the first time they showed the back of the card, but as you can see here, we get to see it for all of like half a second and not really the entirety of it. It's okay. That's in another video of mine as well. We get a nice look at the front though. That's pretty cool. The added bonuses, I mean, okay. The previous video, I guess the most important one is when I was covering the Liquid marketplace to begin with. I mean, if we're going by the track record of previous projects that are now, I guess, just forgotten about, where people lost all their money, we can just look at Dink, Doink, or CryptoZoo. I don't know what's going on with that. If it died without ever really launching. But yeah, previous Logan projects, not a good track record. Is this strike number 3? We're gonna find out. But yeah, pretty wild stuff. The crypto NFT space is pretty much the Wild West right now. And yeah, I would advise making sure you know exactly what you're doing. Take a look at the failed examples recently. There's countless. I know you can just take a look at the CoffeeZilla YouTube page, and you can see he's covering all of the pump and dumps that ever dumped all their pumps. So in this video, we got some cool stuff too. I had there's a couple people that have asked, and yeah, we got some old pictures. That's the thing too. You got this like PSA 10 Illustrator that PSA is pumping, that Logan is pumping, that Liquid Marketplace is pumping. We'll never forget the fact that it was graded multiple times. So I guess PSA doesn't want to advertise the fact that the grading is painfully inconsistent. And if you send an Illustrator in enough times, it turns into a 10. So here we have it with a slice of Papa John's. I don't know what kind of monster orders only cheese pizza, but here it is chilling out in the box. And then we have, I can hide my own camera here. Hide the face cam. If anyone wants to take a look at the card itself, the images are a little bit older, but this is back when it was a PSA 9. We don't know for certain exactly how many times it was regraded, but it sounds like several. PSA probably doesn't even know, if we're being honest here. We got the centering, not exactly tenorific. It'd be nice to actually see modern scans of this bad boy. Looks like we got some serious dirt on there. It looks like we got some weird things going on with the bottom left corner. But yeah, you know, if we want to call it a 10, even though it only got a 10 once out of several times, I guess we can, but that's pretty much it. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you're doing. Are you buying it? Are you not buying it? Do you think it's a scam? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a step in the right direction? Do you think it's any different than Otis or any of the other fractional collectible crypto hybrid, whatever you want to call it? Does it work for you? Would you get your grandmother some for Christmas? Would you get her part of the Illustrator, or tokens that represent maybe kind of loosely part of the Illustrator? Let me know down below. You guys have a good time, a good day, a good night. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.